systems nominal.
Hello my fellow mech heads, welcome to the show. Today we are taking a look at a game from Messiah in 1997. This is Assault Suit Leynos 2. Well, okay, not exactly. This is the 2024 port of Assault Suit Leynos 2 by City Connection for their Saturn Tribute series. These guys have been doing a lot of remasters and ports of classic Sega Saturn games. They have also did, for instance, Elevator Action Returns, which is a particular favorite of mine in this case. The Assault Suit series started out in 1990 with the original Assault Suit Leynos on the Sega Genesis. For Western audiences, they knew that as Target Earth at the time. After that, in 1992, for the Super Nintendo, they did a prequel, Assault Suit Valken, aka Cybernator, for whatever marketing reason they decided to change the name for that. Then, of course, Assault Suit Leynos 2 in 1997 on Sega Saturn. There was an Assault Suit Valken 2, which was kind of a remake of Assault Suit Leynos, but it was a strategy RPG on the PlayStation. Ironically, in the same vein as something like Front Mission, which, you know, if you watch my video on Front Mission Gun Hazard, you know that a lot of the people who worked on these games also ended up creating that one. So, yeah, there's a weird kind of family relation between Front Mission and the Assault Suit series. And of course, there were, you know, a variety of pretenders to the throne. After this, there was Metal Warriors from LucasArts in 1995. A company called Dracu Software did Armor Hunter Gunhound in 2014. They also ended up doing the remake of Assault Suit Leynos in 2016. Pretty good. And of course, there was the remaster of Valken in Valken Declassified, as it's known, in 2023 for the Switch. Yeah, this series still has some legs even to this day. And in the case of this one, this is the first time that Leynos 2 is actually available in English in any form, frankly, because, you know, previously it hadn't been released outside of Japan for whatever reason. So I am glad to be having this, even though it is, again, just a port of the game. This isn't a... Bear in mind, this is not a remake, this is not a remaster. It is a port of the original 1997 Assault Suit Leynos 2. So we're going to be judging it in that. Which isn't to say that it doesn't have a couple of quality of life improvements that have been made, which we'll take a look at going in here. So, I've got a couple of saves. I've got a nearly complete save here. I'm just missing the one last Assault Suit to unlock here. It's a bitch to get, but, you know, I'm rank B. I just need to get rank A on everything for my overall save, and I'll be able to get the final Assault Suit, the Garwin, which is being used by your main enemy, one recurring enemy that you run into. It's got some pretty cool, unique weapons with it too, which is cool. We'll go into that. Also, I have this one just started out. This one's on mission 2, and a fresh save we'll be able to go into. So, first things first, let's go take a look at what makes this game special. The story itself, now that we're actually able to look at it, is fairly boilerplate, I'd say. It's nothing too special. In fact, you don't even need to have played the other games in this series, because they're not really referenced at any point. Essentially, two nations are at war. One on Earth, one space colony, a rebellious space colony. It's all very Gundam, basically. And we are part of the 12th SAS, the Special Assault Suits Force Squadron. We're playing a guy named Kyle, who is the leader of this particular squad. And it's basically made up of the misfits, reprobates, and troublemakers of the army who have the required skills to still be Special Forces badasses, but are kind of a little bit on the goofball side of things. As in, this game doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not in the sense of the original Leynos or Valken, which could get pretty dark at times. I mean, the twists, the story twists in the original Leynos really take things to a dark, very kind of depressing kind of feel to it by the end of it. And of course, Valken has the enemy present shooting himself in the head when confronted. So yeah, that one could get pretty damn dark, especially if you've got the bad ending. This one is definitely more of an action movie kind of feel to it. It's, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's rah, go patriotism kind of thing, but it's definitely, not the war is hell side of things either, if that makes any sense. So, the first thing you do is pick out your assault suit for whatever mission you're going on. I will say this, the thing that really makes this game stand out from not only from this series, but also other games of this type that came out afterwards, is the sheer amount of customization available to you. This game is what would happen if FromSoft ever decided to do a demake of Armored Core. If they decided to make a side-scrolling run-and-gun Armored Core game, this is what it would look like, pretty much. I mean, you might be able to switch out your arms and legs a bit more than just the switch out your full mech here, but you can guess, yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing we're dealing with here. So you can already see you've got the specification data here. There's already a lot to talk about. You have your hit points, obviously. If that runs out, you're dead. Energy, which we'll get into. Weapon payload, the number of weapons that you're able to carry. Your device bay, the number of optional devices that you're able to equip. Armor level, which is, the amount of protection you have based on the armor you selected. And power gain. Power determines the balance between a number of different aspects. So let's say I select the original Leynos suit, the AS541D here. This is the original suit from the original game, which you start out with the, you actually start out with the Leynos 2, which is the upgraded model, the AS7ES. As you can see, it's already just, natural upgrade over everything else here. But if we start with the Leynos here and select power. So you have 3 different categories that you're able to select a certain amount of points, spread out a certain amount of points between them. You have a minimum in each case, determining the base capabilities of the assault suit. Mobility determines mobility, actually, your speed of movement and stuff like that, and it's also the maximum load you're capable of bringing to bear. If I, for instance, drain out this and try to go start mission, chances are I won't be able to. Maximum load. Oh no, actually in this case I can because I just have quite a bit left there, 1,939 there. But if I, increase that quite a bit, well, I would end up with some serious problems. You have weapon, which determines the amount of power dedicated to weapon systems. That, determines what kind of weapons you have available you can have available for you. And repair, just like in the original Leynos, your assault suit will slowly self-repair over time, and this determines the speed of the repairs. The more points you have in this, the better. Now, as you can see, there's also a maximum to all these categories. So depending on the assault suit you have, and depending on your choice of balancing, you'll have a certain amount of ability to change up the balance, but only to a certain point. If you want to go more than that or less than that, you're gonna have to switch out to a different assault suit. So, pretty simple. Weapons. There are a lot of weapons in this game. The original Leynos had 14 different weapons. This thing has a significant number more than that. I haven't even unlocked all of them. There's a bunch more that I still have to get. And as in previous Leynos, you unlock them by doing better in levels, getting high scores and doing things quickly and efficiently and not taking as much damage as possible. There's also a couple of hidden objectives that aren't mentioned during your briefing, so you might want to experiment a bit on different things. I have not been able to find very many guides or walkthroughs available for this game. It's mostly due to the fact that it never released in in English. So as you can imagine, yeah, that's you're gonna have to experiment to see how we can unlock everything. I still haven't unlocked that final assault suit, as I mentioned. So the original Leynos armor can only equip the weapons that were available in the original game. Other ones have different restrictions also. So let's say, for instance, I select, let's say this is one of my favorites, the Galliver here, the VRS-19A Galliver. As you can see, this one got really a lot of mobility to it. This one's really good for space missions and stuff, and can really boost really far, which is really handy. And doesn't require that much in terms of weapon power, depending on what you're selecting. So, it comes with some special stuff. The S-Cobra there is unique to this particular armor. It comes with it when you find it, and it doesn't actually show up. Basically, it's those things that are on its shoulders there. If I, again, go here. Those things on its shoulders are actually drones that you can release that will automatically target and attack enemies and missiles that come nearby, which is really handy. Now, anyway, as I was saying, so this thing cannot equip the machine guns. It can equip Gatling guns if you want, or shotguns, missile launchers. Some of the missile launchers. There's one particular that goes to another that's specific to another assault suit. Plasma rifles, lasers. Can't equip the flamethrowers. This is the one I'm talking about, the MSL 900S. Yeah, this one's good. rocket launchers, grenade launchers, shields. Screens, if you're familiar with the other ones, a shield is basically just that. It's a shield that you can, raise up to block incoming damage. In this case, the shield has a health bar of its own. Screens, on the other hand, are more like 360 force fields, and those ones are powered by your own suit's energy. I have the V shield equipped. That one is unlocked along with this baby right here, the original ASS-117A Valken from Assault Suit Valken. This one you get if you complete level 3 all the way through. It's basically a little side story, a tournament, Assault Suits tournament, and if you successfully beat all enemies, you unlock this one as your prize. And it comes with, obviously, let's see, select this one. Should probably equip some weapons on this thing to demonstrate. So yeah, you got your machine guns, let's say the MGX 1000 here. The cool thing about these things is that they come with this nice little rotating 3D display there, which is cool. Comes with its own little punch. Just like, as you said, this one also can only equip weapons that were available in the original game it's from. In this case, missiles, machine guns, and lasers. So let's say, equip the missiles there. And you can't even equip the other laser, so you can just get this one. So let's stick the laser in the additional bays there. And also, of course, you have the flamethrower, the napalm. You want it there. And I'm out of weapon power, so. And of course, comes with the V-Shield. The thing about the V-Shield that makes it so good is that just like in Assault Suits Valken, when you raise it, it doesn't just block damage from the front. It blocks damage in a 360 from all directions. And this particular shield doesn't have hit points. It is gloriously broken. And that's the great thing about this game. You can just like pick out an absolutely devastating loadout so long as you're able to unlock it all. Now, let's see here. If we can go to, you also have the ability to remove weapons from your loadout or change the locations. Each one of those slots there is associated with a particular button on your controller, so, which is a little bit too hard to get used to at first, but you get used to it. Like right now, the punch would be on my X, the X button on my Logitech. The the machine guns would be on Y, and the B button here on the other side would be the missiles. Which means I probably will actually want change those around. Makes it a little bit easier for me. Alright, now, devices. Again, a lot of them. These ones also get equipped, unlocked as you go along. So these ones all have different abilities, and they increase your abilities in certain ways. So for instance, this one increases your repair capability, weapon power, increased mobility, hit points, the amount of energy you have available. So like if I increase power GX there, and of course now I don't have any more. As you can see, I have no more weight left. I'm pretty much maxed out. So E-Pack, the energy here. That one, boom, 999, I'm already maxed out. That one's a particularly powerful one, but as you can see, it weighs 500. Let's see, I could also increase my repair ability, increase the amount of power available to weapons, increase the amount of power available to mobility. This basically increases the maximum you have for that. Extra weapon bays. I can actually increase the number of weapons I'm able to carry around, which is handy. Increase my ability to dash. Increase reload speed for weapons that have to be reloaded, such as machine guns. Enemy de-analyzer. This one shows the health bar for the enemies that you have locked on. Charge enhancer speeds up the ability of certain energy weapons to charge up, such as the laser, for instance. Advanced radar system. This one is interesting because it actually allows you to target enemies that are otherwise invisible on radar. We'll see this one when you get into the game, but there is a lock-on system in Leynos 2, but it's specific because it can only lock onto enemies that you can actually see on radar, which means that certain enemies that are equipped with scramblers and the like cannot be targeted with it, so you have to rely on manual controls. This one and the G unit here, which also includes advanced radar built in here, and it's a pretty hefty little device there, will actually allow you to use your auto targeting regardless of things. Advanced aim units speed up the speed at which you change targeting. It's all very, lots and lots of options. This game really allows you to customize customize your gameplay and really, there we go, increase hit points a bit, and really play, choose to fine-tune how you want your particular assault suit to operate in game. So let's increase mobility a little bit there. So let's see. Exit here, and now here's another example. Armor. You unlock different kinds of armor, and as you can see here, holy shit, there's look at that, they even come with little graphs. And look at oh my god, look at that thing. There are basically 3 different kinds of damage you can take in this game. There's ballistic, that's the green, blue is energy, and C is explosive and concussive damage, so like punches and stuff like that, physical attacks. And you select whichever armor you want, and from there, so depending on how much you add into it, it will determine how protected you are against different attacks. So let's say I go... let's max this one out here, for instance, the HVM Assault Armor. You have different... also like this one. Holy crap, that one's Dynamium HG. That one's pretty good. Now, let's see. Start mission. Weight limit exceeded. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. So let's go to power. See if I can't increase... Can I get this thing? No, even at maximum mobility, I still can't. So let's also... Self-repair is not too good. The original Assault Suit Valken, you did not have any kind of self-repair capability on your Assault Suit, so yeah, you don't have much of it here. Yeah, okay. I might as well put the rest of the points there. So that means we now go to armor and reduce it till I can actually see something left. Oh boy, that stuff's heavy. Yeah, that stuff's heavy. So, let's see. Yeah. So basically I'd have to drop something. Let's drop the back. And okay, even if I increase that, I think it's not gonna work. But, okay. Okay, there we go. Let's max this out. Okay. And, okay, so there we got, this one's got some weird kind of curve on the ballistics there. Okay, so we do have, so we can't use that one really, but we can use this one, so that's good. Alright, so let's start the mission here, using the original Valken. That should be fun. Might have some fun. Alright. So, while we're here, pausing here while we're during the dialogue, let's take a look at the HUD here. So we have, as I mentioned, all the different weapons that we have there in each of their slots. We have your jump and boost, which with the little bar there determining how long you can stay boosted before you overheat your engines and they have to cool down before you can actually try to use them again. Now, the thing to bear in mind, especially if you're in space, if you're just on land like this and you overheat your boosters, okay, you'll just be able to jump, you won't be able to hover around. If you're in space and you overheat your boosters, you can't maneuver at all. You're basically just free floating, and that is not good at all. So, not in the mood. So the 12 SAS is known for, as it says here, famous for ignoring direct orders. Alright, here we have the auto aim on. Take out these missiles. So, you have some options here as well. Always options, which is always a good thing. So, for instance, play mode here. Gun hold, you can toggle lock when the button is pressed, which is what I'm doing here. Basically, when you're in manual mode, you want to lock the angle at which you're aiming. This is how you do that. Toggle on or off. Dash, same thing, toggle on and off. And this one, in this case, widens the view in front of you, which is always kind of handy. Auto aiming mode. So this is really useful. Auto aim mode 1 prioritizes closest enemies. Auto aim 2 prioritizes missiles. And this one prioritizes the weakest enemies. You can actually fine-tune what you're automatically locking onto. This one is very useful in certain cases, like especially dealing with all those missiles coming in. And of course, screen view determines whether it's constantly focused on you or constantly, moving around a bit. So, do that. You can then set weapons if you want to move these things around. Like that. Easy peasy, which is what useful for when you want to select different weapons. So let's say I want to move the laser to there. And what the hell? And now let's leave the flamethrower. Show the configuration status, so you can take a look at everything that you're currently working with here. Start stage from the beginning. And here, you can change the speed at which you move your weapon when you're manually aiming. So there's a lot of fine-tuning you can do on this. There's also, as you can see, the EP, which is the amount of experience points, kind of like, score, your current score, damage points, how much damage you've taken so far during the mission. GL is the game level. That is the dynamic difficulty. That you are currently engaging. Basically, during normal gameplay. Oh, missile up. Take care of these guys. During normal gameplay, when you're not doing New Game Plus, that will actually vary based on how well you're doing. The longer you do damage without taking damage return, the higher the difficulty level will go, up to level 6, at which point you start spamming missiles and stuff like that. The new game, as soon as you hit New Game Plus, it locks into game level 6. So that's the reason why these guys are reacting so quickly and shooting so many goddamn missiles all over the place. Alright, take care of these guys. Just a joke. These guys are... The members of your squad have a nice, well... I wouldn't say well-rounded personalities. They're basically just, a bunch of goofballs. But ultimately they are likable, which is, all you can really ask for a bunch of miscreants. But they have some, good dialogue too. One thing to note is that when you start dashing, you're locked into one direction. So if you want to be able to turn around, you have to turn that off. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. So that's the machine gun. If I shoot the laser, you'll notice here, when I do this, the screen actually zooms in and out a little bit. This is because the machine gun here, rather the laser, has a slightly smaller range than the machine gun. Depending on the weapon you have, currently equipped, so to speak, like for instance right here I've got the laser, as I'm about to demonstrate on this poor bastard. Boom. There we go. Laser does a lot of damage here. As you can see, that's the way it charges up in the blue bar there. The range of weapon is determined, by the size of the screen is determined by the range of the weapon you currently have equipped. So something like a sniper rifle will really zoom out quite a bit. Yeah, that's scary as hell. Whereas something with very short range will get really zoomed in, and well, you're just going to have to deal with that. Armored tank, first boss here, Mecha Tortoise. This thing. So this is the V-Shield, as you can see, very good at blocking incoming damage. Let's bring out the missiles here. Now you can't fire anything while you have your shield up, but you can fire missiles. Oh no! As you can see, firing a whole bunch of missiles at once does actually slow down the game somewhat. You can also see my energy bar there on the left, that round thing, actually going down rather quickly. That's caused by not only using energy weapons, it goes down, as you can see, as they charge back up, but also the self-repair capabilities. Which means even if you're not running on energy weapons, you are in fact going to have to worry about that bar. Because once it runs out, you start regenerating health. Let's just deal with this guy here. There we go. Deal with this bastard. And boom. Oh man, it's over already? Yeah. Party's only getting started, indeed. So that's basically, you can see the kind of gameplay we're dealing with. And afterwards you have results screen. You determine, you know, points, penalties, rank A, not bad. And this then determines the kinds of weapons that you now gain depending on different criteria. Enemy points, the amount of, you know, enemies you took down, damage points you took, total mission score, clear time, technical points, that's, you know, how well you did ultimately. And from there you unlock new weapons, devices, armors, and assault suits depending on story. So, go to next mission. Yeah, there's nothing significant about that enemy. Fun times. And now you're taking on an enemy base here. So let's give you an example of what you can do with some really nasty stuff. So let's go with that. The Zirek here, which is mostly energy weapon based. The Phantoma here is mostly kind of the opposite. As you can see there, the energy and hit points completely opposite. This one is mostly physical weapons, and also it's the one that can equip. Let me just show it off here. It's the, well, I have it equipped there, the Missile 100S, 3,000 rounds of missiles, fires like 20 at a time. It is nasty as hell. Let's see, I think I can equip the, can I equip that new, yeah, I can equip this. Oh, I don't have enough power left? I do. Machine guns. There we go. So the MGX 1000. The weapon power determines exactly how much firepower you can bring to bear, obviously. Let's see, I think I can upgrade that flamethrower. There we go. And of course, this is the goddamn best missile launcher in the whole fucking game. And let's see. This one cannot equip the V-shield though, however, so you have to be careful with that. Can't equip the screens. Screens basically act the same way the V-shield is. They provide 360 count of coverage, but in this case they use energy, so you have to be careful with that. Another thing you have to be careful about, and this is something that's kind of cool. You can see here, among these stats for the different weapons here, you have attack type, the different kinds of damage they do, like in the case of machine guns, obviously, it's for, you know, ballistic damage. Attack range, as I mentioned, the screen changing, so the MG100 has a range of 1 versus the MGX 1000 range of 7, so that's a really good difference in range there. You also have, you know, good ranges on there. There's also that angle there. As you can see there, the 45-45 versus the 90-90. Machine guns can point 90 degrees straight up or 90 degrees straight down, which is really useful if you're dealing with, you know, incoming missiles and stuff like that. The Gatling guns here have a more limited range. These ones are 56 degrees up or down, or 45, or even 33. This one here, 22. These ones can practically only shoot right in front of you. That is a major difference that if you're not paying attention, that can bite you in the ass, because that means an enemy that goes right over your head, you can't shoot at them. So you better make sure that you also have weapons that can actually target those kinds of enemies. It's also helpful to have, like I said, those missile launchers there, because those ones can actually be used while you're blocking with a shield or a screen, which, you know, means you can still dish out some firepower. Same thing here for these missiles. Those ones can aim up to 90 degrees up, but 45 degrees straight down to target stuff. So, you know, you do have to bear that in mind. And also, the attack power, missiles and explosive weapons, obviously they deliver their hits, deliver all their damage from the hit, regardless of distance. So, you know, attack power is the same across the board. Anything like these plasma rifles or the sniper rifle here, always cool. Those ones, as you can see, the attack power goes down over distance. Right up close, they do full damage. And the assault rifle, the ASRs here, the sniper rifles, they have really good range generally, and also deliver a significant amount of attack power versus, say, those machine guns, Like the very first one does very little damage further out you go. And then you get to the nastier ones here, and they do a decent amount of hits. Generally speaking, the Gatling guns are actually pretty good for that too. So you have a lot of things to take into account, but ultimately the game is still just, you know, run and gun everything that moves, so it's honestly not that complicated. That's really the good thing about this. So yeah, so and also you can see this one's going to get a whole bunch of extra stuff here if you look at the devices there. Got the Hyper Booster, which increases a whole bunch of things. Advanced Aim Unit to increase the speed of aiming. Enemy De-Analyzer, extra weapon bays. Armor level you can increase as well. A whole bunch of stuff. The ES System XR4, which is a whole special thing. There's actually, if you look at the database here, they actually included a database. There's not really very much in terms of extra stuff to the game, but there are some interesting things. They did a full translation of the manual, which is helpful, and also a nice little database of all the stuff. So the assault rifle, machine guns, missiles, plasma rifles, lasers, napalm, rocket grenades, bazooka, punches, obviously. The different shields, they don't show any images, but you get the idea. And these are the special ones. The S-Cobras for the Gallivre. Probably, yeah, I should show that one off. And the G-Weapons are for the special last assault suit I haven't got. And then, of course, all the different devices. Hyper Booster increases the duration of your booster, which is very handy for that heavier kind of, those more heavier assault suits. Increase your dash speed, adds extra weapon slots. Increase the, different power values. Enemy De-Analyzer, Charge Enhancer, Advanced Radar System, Advanced Radar System. So all of these different things, very, very useful, and boost your energy efficiency. Those are what the ES systems do. So basically, the amount of energy required from your assault suit to do all these things is, much lower. And of course, the playing guide, how to play, about the game, lots of cool stuff. It covers everything you need to know, really, about everything about the game here. Player time, technical points. Yeah, ratio of mission score divided by the mission completion time. Basically determines whether you get your equipment or not. And stuff that, blah, blah. And it also includes a little bit of information on the story itself, what's been going on, as well as some basic character backgrounds, your player character, Kyle Kleber, and the other members of your squad, Eddie, Dolph, Maria, and Colonel George, your commanding officer, and just little credits for the original game. So, yeah, this game is very, it's definitely a very bare bones in terms of port, especially compared to something like the Falcon Declassified remaster that was for Switch. That one came with a whole bunch of stuff. But this one, it's solid. It's solid enough for what it provides. It's definitely the game as it originally was here. Let's go with the Gallivre. I like this one here quite a bit. It's got some serious stuff here. Oh, wait a minute. Why do I have two Cobras? Let's get something else here. This one does a lot in terms of... Yeah. Let's go to the Gatling gun there. Alright. And let's see. Can I increase... Armor level's pretty good. Okay, left, I still have a bunch left actually, so let's... Am I currently maxed out? I think I'm maxed out. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, let's go for this one. One thing I like about this one is that it's a lot of mobility. This one zooms around like crazy. Zen space lies just beyond these mountains. Do what we do best and wipe off the map. It is the mountain. Oh, I just have to be the first then. So this one, as you can see, carries really fast, really high, and I'm already up there. Which is good, because that one's just like a ton of falling rocks. Look how fast this thing moves. And as you can see there, that laser cannon there that we have to destroy is pretty much immune. Unfortunately, immune to laser fire. So we're gonna have to go machine guns. Guys, stop hitting. This is the one thing that you also have to bear in mind. Sometimes manual aim comes in handy. So let's just blow this guy up. Boom, there we go. And as you can see there, the targeting on this thing cannot go beyond a certain point. But holy shit, does it do a lot of damage. So as I mentioned on the, you can see there on the shoulders there, those round things. There we go. So those drones. Yeah, not what I signed up for, but... And if you fail, we're no longer a massive thorn in everyone's side. It's basically a no-lose situation for the powers that be. Yeah. Gotta stay focused. You destroyed our disruptor cannon. This is as far as you go. Yeah, you're right. So just, you know, wreck these guys. The laser does a number on these early guys, that's for sure. And especially having these two goddamn turrets on my shoulders I can just unleash. They basically drain energy so long as they're active. Let's just shoot down everybody. Wait for my laser to recharge. The lasers, of course, as you can see, can target things that are above you, which is very handy. There we go. Easy peasy. And there you go. So yeah, once you unlock some serious firepower, this game can get very, very easy. Although, you know, I kind of was a bit sloppy there. Normally I get a rank A on this one. Yeah, no, I already unlocked everything that was to unlock on this level anyway. So yeah, this is Assault Suit Leynos 2. As I said, that was easy. Who am I kidding? Yeah, it was actually pretty easy. So the game also comes with a couple extra options. You have the ability to do a quick rewind, should you need to, if ever the game... Because let's face it, the game itself, it looks pretty easy right now, because I'm playing with some serious firepower, and I'm, you know, played through this game a whole bunch of times to, you know, get the hang of it. But yeah, when you're just starting out, and you're just starting out with regular, you know, starting weapons, this game can kick your ass very much. There's a particular level 4, which is an escort mission where you have to escort a fuel tanker to a space shuttle. And yeah, that one can get pretty hard. You have to really get ahead of that tanker and take out enemies quick before they can get to it, because otherwise... And it's also one of the levels that includes some of those enemies that cannot be targeted by your aim or radar, so you have to be careful about that. Oh. You can also quick save and quick load. There are extra options as well. You can boost energy consumption, shield durability, increase body durability, which is very handy if you're trying to just, you know, play through the game, because otherwise this game is as hard as you can imagine it. Button configuration, screen settings, change the language if you want to change to a whole bunch of different configurations. Assault Suit Leynos 2 by City Connection. This is honestly a very solid port. It's no more than that. It's not, you know, don't expect anything like a full remaster or remake. But if you wanted to be able to play the original game without fiddling around with emulators, and it's just, you know, works straight out of the box, perfectly well translated, then definitely this one is worth picking up. And yeah, it's only 7 levels long, but this is definitely the kind of game we want to play over and over again, play through a couple of times to try and unlock everything. I want that last suit. It looks fucking badass. In any case, I have been Zero Sum. This has been Assault Suit Leynos 2, the Saturn Tribute Edition, and I will see you next time. Adios.
Primary objective complete. Mission successful.